Now, we've had 4 straight days of selling. Markets are getting oversold here. So, this is getting pretty deep oversold. Generally, this is where you're going to get a bounce. Now, the question is it a bounce that you want to buy, or is this a bounce you sell into? Here's what you need to know before the bell this morning. Markets are still in a correction mode. We kind of ad nauseum in January, February, talking about a potential for a correction. This market was just kind of grinding higher along this 20-day moving average. And we suggested that, hey, watch that 20-day moving average. If we break it, that's going to flip all these computer algorithms that were buying the 20-day moving average. Every time we touch the 20-day moving average, computers would come in and start buying the dip, right? And we said that when we broke that 20-day that we were going to flip those algorithms over, and now it's a sell the rip rally. So every time the market tries to rally, and again, we're going to try that again this morning, the markets wind up getting sold into. And so we've had a fairly decent decline here. We're down about 4%-ish. 4.5% from the peak. So we're working towards that initial 5% correction. We're sitting, looking at kind of from a technical perspective, there's what's called Fibonacci retracements. Don't get too worried about it. If you want to go Google it, you can. But it's just basically a series of retracements set up on mathematical ratios. It's called the golden ratio. And that first ratio is a 23.6% decline from this peak. So in other words, if you take a look at this bottom and look at that top, the first decline would be a 23.6% decline of that entire rally. So we're approaching that right now. So we're in fact, yesterday we actually touched that. So the market's kind of bounced off that support level yesterday, and we're set to have a bit of a rally. Now, we've had 4 straight days of selling. Markets are getting oversold here, so this is getting pretty deep oversold. Generally, this is where you're going to get a bounce. Now, the question is it a bounce that you want to buy, or is this a bounce you sell into? Too soon to tell for that, but again, we're at a point this market is going to bounce, and what we're looking for now, when this market bounces, when you get this rally, if this rally's really been weighing on you, right? You've got positions that are really weighing on you and you're really kind of stressing out over this, use any rally back towards 5,100. That's about where the 50-day moving average is, to lighten up positions. So sell what you need to sell. Now, what you're looking for here ultimately is for this MACD indicator to turn back to a positive buy signal. As long as we're on a sell, that's going to suggest that we've got lower prices, or at least a consolidation of prices. So again, just use rallies here temporarily to sell into, rebalance your risk. As we talked about yesterday, a lot of stocks have already had very big declines, and you're like, oh, I missed that stock. I've been wanting to get into it. It's had a big decline. It's oversold. It's sitting on support, whatever it is. You can start nibbling into those positions, sell positions you need to sell to reduce risk in your overall portfolio. But again, as we start to see this MACD signal here turn back to a positive buy, that'll be the point after this correction to go ahead and increase equity exposure back to target weight. So again, this is just a normal, healthy correction within a bullish trend. We've got no evidence right now of a bigger market correction, 20% type correction coming. Doesn't mean that can't happen, but we really don't have any of the economic data, earnings data, et cetera, that is certainly supporting that. So again, this is just a normal, healthy 5 to a 10% correction here, probably in the 5 to 7% range. Could be 10, that'd take us down to the 200-day moving average. But probably somewhere between where we are now and this 100-day moving average is probably going to be about the depth of this decline. And then this market's going to try to rally into summer. So now once we get into summer, another correction is probably coming, but I would expect to see a bit of a rally here in the next few days, potentially even starting today as we get further into earnings season, and particularly if earnings are supportive of that. So that's what you need to know before the bell this morning.